I'm just going to remember, since we have a movie star here, that it was a movie star, George Clooney, who really affected this election. I mean, Biden might still be in there if George Clooney, talk about celebrities and how important they are. I don't think they're important in getting the voters to do something, but they sure were important in getting the party heads to finally do that.
Hold on tight, for one of the most amazing and dramatic Hollywood catastrophes of 2025 is about to unfold. Known for his charm, style, and cinematic royalty, George Clooney is at the heart of a career collapse so spectacular that it might easily be mistaken for one of his own catastrophe films. Bill Maher, the famously funny presenter of Real Time, is at the center of this real-life drama which revolves around a fierce public battle that has captivated audiences and taken over Tinseltown. I simply want to thank you for watching before we get swept up in this storm of betrayal, shame, and public humiliation. This conflict is as ridiculous as it is funny, I assure you. See it for yourself if you haven't already. It began with what was intended to be a straightforward political advertisement in which Clooney sought to maintain his relevance in the ever-evolving cultural scene and raise awareness of his advocacy. But instead of creating a stir for the right reasons, the advertisement utterly failed, by which I mean that it failed more severely than any of Clooney's prior box office setbacks.
Come on, boys. Let's make America great again. It's your turn, buddy.
Before you cast your vote in this election, think about how it'll impact the people you care about the most.
Daddy!
Remember, you can vote any way you want, and no one will ever know.
Do your patriotic duty.
You bet I did, brother.
What happens in the booth stays in the booth. Vote Harris Walls. Paid for by Vote
The public outcry quickly spread like wildfire, and it became clear that the formerly untouchable actor now had a very brittle reputation that needed to be carefully guarded in order to reclaim control of the narrative and save his image. He was quickly accused by critics of being out of touch, insensitive, and worst of all, pandering. Everyone makes errors, of course, but this was a full-fledged nosedive in public opinion. Clooney was taking a risk. The goal of the high stakes media tour was to rally public support and reiterate his position, but it was a do-or-die situation. Clooney's team was banking on one pivotal move, getting him on Real Time with Bill Maher. The plan was simple but audacious. Clooney would step onto Maher's stage and use his trademark charm to wow the audience, express genuine regret, and offer distinctive political opinions that would perhaps remind everyone why they fell in love with him in the first place. Sounds like a surefire way to regain attention, right? Not so fast. Bill Maher, the skeptic, was not impressed. Clooney's team thought the idea was a good one when they originally pitched it, but Maher quickly turned them down, apparently telling them that Real Time isn't a platform for celebrity. Rehabilitation. Maher wasn't buying it. He believed Clooney's participation would probably turn off his loyal viewers, who tuned in for sharp political commentary rather than celebrity melodrama. But Clooney's team wasn't prepared to give up. Yet. They came back with an even more enticing proposition, a media extravaganza that would dominate headlines for weeks, along with stunning disclosures and direct answers to his detractors during his exclusive appearance. Maher then took a moment to discuss the broader culture of celebrity influence.
The great thing about laughter is that it's involuntary. So if you laugh at something, something in you tells you that's true. It must be true. I laughed at it. Maybe I wasn't supposed to. George Clooney, who really affected this election. I mean, Biden might still be in there if George Clooney, talk about celebrities.
We have a movie star here, George Clooney, who supposedly influenced this election, Maher said, making it clear that he was sending a message rather than merely dismissing Clooney's request. As the rejection stung, Clooney's team became more desperate and pushed for a third attempt, suggesting a live Q&A session where Clooney would answer spontaneous questions from the crowd. At this point, things got very intriguing, but Maher was still not convinced and shot it down once again. After his third failed attempt to appear on Real Time, Clooney decided to take matters into his own hands in what can only be described as a last-ditch effort. He personally contacted Maher and offered to have an open, unscripted discussion on the program where he could share his perspective. But Maher wasn't impressed. Reportedly, Maher informed Clooney directly that his show wasn't a place for celebrity.
Big swing, and thank God you hit that ball out because
it could have gone very
It could have gone very, very badly.
Go badly.
Well,
Redemption narratives, as it wasn't about ratings or numbers, but about maintaining integrity. Clooney suffered both a personal and professional setback. As tensions increased behind the scenes, he was not prepared to face the humiliation of being publicly and forcefully rejected after decades as one of Hollywood's most beloved personalities. A man who could once open doors with just a smile. Never. One to back down from controversy, Maher reportedly started making fun of Clooney in private conversations. According to insiders, Maher called Clooney's repeated pitches pitiful, even comparing the actor's desperation to auditioning for a pity party. These private jabs didn't stay behind closed doors for long. Word soon reached Clooney, who was visibly unhappy. However, Maher didn't stop there. During one of his monologues, he subtly included several jabs at Clooney and other Hollywood elites, mocking celebrities who believe their political beliefs are more important than their box office performance. Although Maher didn't explicitly mention Clooney, anyone following the drama could easily connect the dots. Clooney wasn't about to let this feud go unresolved.
What I had to say, they suspended me. I respected what they said. I respected everybody's opinion. And if anyone's ever really interested in it in its entirety, they can look it up. But I will not put myself in that position again.
it was a risky move because had he not decided to step aside, it would probably have damaged him having one of his great supporters.
Reports suggest that his team started looking for other media opportunities, pitching him to shows like The Howard Stern Show. However, even Stern was hesitant to associate his show with Clooney's increasingly negative public image. Clooney was reportedly more irritated than ever, snapping at anyone who dared to criticize him. This was more than just a professional disagreement, it was a battle of principles. Maher positioned himself as a defender of authenticity, refusing to compromise his program for the sake of celebrity theatrics by barring Clooney from appearing. Thus, we find ourselves at the epicenter of one of Hollywood's most talked about controversies of the year. This isn't just about one actor's fall from grace or a talk show host's unwillingness to collaborate.
They're important in getting the voters to do something, but they sure were important in getting the party heads.
It's a reflection of a broader cultural shift in Hollywood, where public opinion and social media outrage increasingly dictate the fate of even the most famous celebrities. Clooney is running out of options. Talk shows are rejecting him, and major studios are stepping away. Will he fade into obscurity, or will he find a way to stage a comeback? This drama is far from over, but only time will tell. Does George Clooney still have a shot at redemption, or has his Hollywood dream turned into a tragedy? So what do you think? Drop your thoughts in the comments section below, and if you don't want to miss out on the hottest celebrity news, make sure to subscribe to Daily Finder.